Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friendly neighbor, Dr. Jimmy Oneswait, and I am back. Yay! I'm now back with a StarCraft 2 replay sent in by one of my good friends from Team Cube. But first, before that, let us introduce our player spawning here on the lower right-hand corner of the map. I think this is Newkirk Breezik. Oh my god, it's been so long since I last casted a game. But anyway, he is the Red Protoss Eclipse. And our opponent spawning on the opposite side. Guys, I'm sorry, I really forgot the name of the map. It's been so long since I've touched StarCraft, and it's been super busy. Anyway, he is Cube. Sorry, he's Cube Chu. Not Kim Chu, but Cube Chu. Anyway, I'm really sorry, guys. It's been a while since I last uploaded anything on the YouTube channel. It's because I've actually been transferred. For those of you who do not know, I've been transferred from Cebu to a city called Bacolod, somewhere in the Visayas, to the to the west of Cebu. And it's just now that I've gotten everything set up. I have settled in, but I had to reformat my computer and all. My OS crashed on me, and I just now got internet on the computer. How did I do it? I'll put that in a separate video, maybe, if you guys want. Anyway, so it's going to be a Protoss versus Zerg, and I heard it's going to be a pretty epic match. It has all the drama. Anyway, we see CubeCube going for spawning pool first. He wants to be safe. He's not really that confident on this map to go straight up fast expand. However, I will not question Chu and what he's thinking about at this point. Just let's actually see what he knows right now. Actually, he actually hasn't scouted. So basically, this is his opening. I think this is a 15 pool into a 15 hatch. Still, pretty good. It's a really nice macro-oriented build. Of course, most Zergs would like to get their pool first in case of cannons, which of course most Protoss, the metagame has really evolved into fast expanding against Zerg, so most Zerg can really feel safe grabbing an expansion really quick. But of course, Chu wants to be as safe as possible because this was played on the Korean server, and you'll never ever know what to expect on the Korean servers. Anyway, we see our Eclipse going for fast Nexus. Nexus first, actually, before Forge. Also, again, the evolved metagame where Zerg really always fast expands. So of course, if you notice that Zerg needs are going around, Chu is covering all of his bases. He wants to make sure that there are no proxy pylons, there's no cannon rushes. He's going straight for the third base because he sees there is of course fast expansion from the Protoss, which has always been the response for most Zergs, especially if you want to go late into the macro. Of course, one thing you have to watch out for as Zerg when you're going for your third base is the timing attack. 2 base all in from Protoss. Of course, I haven't really it's been a while. I've not watched a lot of StarCraft recently because again of work. But there are a lot of possibilities that a lot of builds that the Protoss can do to go all in on 2 bases. I actually almost defeated Chu going all in on 2 bases. I just overextended in that game. You can actually review that game. That's entitled Dr. Jimmy's Glorious Return to Competitive Gaming Part 1. Yes. Anyway, so third now on the way for Chu. He has not yet grabbed any gas, so looking it's a very very macro oriented expansion wise, pump out a lot of drones kind of build. And then interesting, Chu sealing this off. Looks like he just wants to lessen the attack paths, possible attack paths of Protoss, which is always good. And a pro player scouting to check this third to see if any fourth base has been grabbed. Another Protoss, and still nothing much. Just now getting his mothership core. Looks like he might use this to just scout the front to pick off any possible Zerglings or drones. Chu has an overlord right here in the main, so he sees just about everything going on. And nothing yet on the Protoss side. He is already up to 500 minerals. He is actually going straight for a 3-gate. Going straight for a third Nexus without anything at all. So Chu, I'm not sure if he'll be able to spot this. I'm sure he's going to wonder, okay, what is going on? There's nothing There's nothing happening. Of course, he is powering up 10 drones, getting +1, which is always good. When you get +1, you can always two-shot. Lings with the Zealot. Looks like he's now moving out with 2 Stalkers, trying to, apply a bit of pressure onto the Zerg. As a Protoss player, you do not want to leave a macroing Zerg alone. You want to, disrupt the Protoss players, disrupt the Zerg player as much as possible. And I think, with this timing, this is the normal timing for a 4-gate attack, and Chu actually has no idea that there's a third base. He's moving the Overlord out though, and he's expecting that there is going to be a 4 warp gate. There's going to be 4 warp gate pressure. As he built 14 links, he doesn't have speed. Speed just now started, so these Stalkers can have a heyday. Will have a field day with these Zerglings. So if you notice, I like this strategy from the Protoss. He's actually faking pressure right here, and Chu still does not see that the Protoss has a third. So nice fake on pressure right there. Now notice Chu dropping down a Roach Warren and an Evolution Chamber. The Protoss faked a 4-gate attack to cover his 3 Nexus build. Now dropping down a total of 6 gates. He now has a total of 7 gates. Forge now up. And Chu producing a whole lot of Zerglings. I think he's expecting an attack right now. He still has not scouted that the Protoss has this third base. If he sees this third base, he will know that okay, he's in good shape to grab a 4th. But then again, with the impending 7 gates, and is there going to be blink? No blink. The +1 is done. He might go for +2, and quite possibly attack. But Chu now trying to, he might be asking himself, what the hell is going on? If you notice, there is no more watchtower here in the middle. I think this is a different map, or is it the same map? I'm not sure. But notice Chu sending out links to scout and see that there are no bases there, so there has to be a base here. It looks like Chu only has the Zerglings, and this is when the Protoss player does spot there are links out right there outside of his base. Overseer grabbing as much information as he can. He did see all the 7 gates, but Chu still does not. Okay, now he knows that there is a third base. I know there's a lot of zealots being warped in. Nice building placement here from our Protoss player. This will definitely lessen the angles of attack. Very nice force fields. But then again, the Zerglings trying to make their way into the main, but I don't think they'll be able to do anything because it is well defended. Warping in a whole bunch of sentries to force field, and very good. Photon Overcharge going in, and awesome defense here from the Protoss player. The Zerg just trying, everywhere to get in and deal some damage. But the Protoss player has superior positioning right here in the safety of his base. He has some cannons. He is warping in a bunch of zealots to repel the links, and now warping in more stalkers to push away the roaches. So this attack is going to go in favor of the Protoss player, even trapping the roaches right here, preventing him from moving back. So looking at that exchange, it's not yet over actually, but I can't really say that that attack went well for the Zerg player. The Protoss is pushing the Roach forces back, but he might actually get a nice angle here if he engages the Zealots. But again, the Zealots protecting the Stalkers at the back, pushing the Roaches further and further back onto the creep. 4th base now going down for Chu, and Protoss sitting on a shit ton of money, getting +2. He's getting his +2 attacks. Yes, he already has +2. He already has 7 gates. I'd like to see him drop down a couple of more gates because he is floating quite a lot, or even quite possibly grab a 4th base. But Chu looking to keep the pressure on, trying to force the issue here. Very aggressive play here from Chu, and I've known him to be a really aggressive Zerg player. But then again, 3 base on 3 base production does favor the Protoss, and nice force fields there. Using Blink now to blink back. This is a Zerg player's. Zerg players hate to see that when they have roaches and then the Stalkers just blink back. They can micro back forever, unless the roaches have overwhelming numbers, and there's nothing really that the Zerg can do. And even Stalkers against even roaches, it would heavily favor the Stalkers, especially with sentries. But the sentries have no energy. Now pushing the Stalkers back, going back to the safety of the Photon Overcharge. And here we go. Chu now pressuring the front. Looks like we even have Proxy Pylon here. Zella trying to deal some damage, but that didn't do much. And again, attack defended by our Protoss player. Chu just now going to grab his 4th base, powering up his drones a lot. Was good income time, 75 to 60. Protoss is actually ahead. But right now, I think the Protoss player should grab a 4th. But then, you know, what 4th would you grab right here? Maybe he could grab this and wall this off. So that, you know, he can position his army right here to easily defend, as compared to, you know, grabbing this base where his army will have to move back and forth defending. But here we go, Chu again moving in with Zerglings, trying to force the issue. I don't think Zerglings can really do anything because there is, you know, so much, there are so many obstacles to hinder the Zerglings from getting anything. But Chu doing a good job making sure that the Protoss is not expanding. And he actually, despite, you know, the Zerg losing a lot of units, let's look at the units lost up, he's losing a lot of units on this attack, he actually has map control here. The Protoss cannot go beyond, you know, this his little corner. And Chu actually has the freedom to expand. Now grabbing some Hydralisk Colossus now on the way for the Protoss player, which is, I think, a little overdue. But then again, you know, he is grabbing Immortals. Blink Stalkers are always good against Roaches, and the Colossus will absolutely vaporize any Hydralisk force. I'd like to see him grab Templar Twilight, no, not Templar Archives, for that yummy delicious Scythe Storm. You know, that is any Protoss dream death ball Colossus with Storm and Archons. I mean, come on, as a Protoss player, who wouldn't love to see Colossus ball with Archons, Zealots, Stalkers, and Scythe Storm? But then again, you know, here's our Protoss player now grabbing this base. Well, he does have the mobility with the Stalker, so he can blink back and forth. But here we go, it looks like Chu now is going to catch the army off guard. I mean, out of position. He doesn't have a Mothership Core with his army. No, he doesn't have a Mothership Core. But Chu now going to be able to take down the 3rd base, which he has been, you know, trying to break down for the longest time. He does take down the Nexus. However, the Probes can actually just transfer here to the top, or he can just re-grab the Nexus and again fortify his base. But here we go, looks like the Zerg trying to engage. There are no sentries, but then again, the Protoss has, I think the Protoss has better position right here with Blink Stalkers blinking back. But then the Hydralisk dealing so much damage from behind, but the Immortal was absolutely eating up the Roaches. Multi-Core now coming in to provide support, but he doesn't have much energy. Now the Protoss is on the creep, but the good thing about creep spread is, you know, this does help deter any possible attacks, especially if your opponent does not have an observer, which he's getting now. Okay? This will, you know, make any attacker think twice about attacking, simply because, you know, the Zerg player knows where you are and he can actually get good position. First Colossus now out, and grabbing more Zealots. 4th base now on the way. It looks like the 3rd base, the main of the Protoss about to be mined out. I'd like to see Chu grab his 5th. There you go, he's already grabbing his 5th. But here we go, Protoss are moving to attack. I don't think this is the best angle for Protoss, as the Zerg can actually get a nice surround. There you go, look at that concave there from the Zerg. Hydralisk wailing away, but with pure Hydralisk, you know, Roaches to provide meat shield, the Zealots and Colossus will actually, you know, the Zealots can soak up the damage, Colossus can deal damage from behind. And it looks like this 3rd base of Chu is in danger. Chu wisely pulling away the gas, pulling away the drones. So he's just going to sacrifice this base and all his eggs full of lings, able to live to fight another day. I've seen him expand here also. He has pretty good creep spread here from Chu. Awesome job. A couple of idle drones. Just admiring. Creep tumor, but looks like. But meanwhile, we have an attack going on. But Colossal Hydralisk Ling, not the best against that Watching Colossus. This Watching Colossus is going to have so much kills. There you go, 18 kills. 2nd Colossus now coming in, but he is pretty vulnerable. Chu might go ahead and snipe that, which is going to be a pretty okay pickup, but not for, you know, in exchange for losing his whole fucking army. Not really, but the Raptors are now out. Ooh, looks like the Stalkers will be able to get the Hydralisks. They'll be able to chase them down. The Hydralisks do have their faster movement speed, but then again, here we go. Scary moment here for the Zerg. Tense moment, 4th base, 5th base. Now in danger. But Protoss seemingly wanting to pull back here. So here comes some more Roaches now for to provide support and a meat shield. Bros being pulled off the line to try and defend and fight for their lives. Corruptors not sure what they're doing. Protoss is on 3 attacks, Zerg on 2-2. But again, the reinforcing advantage of Zerg, able to push the Protoss back. And yeah, Eclipse did deal quite significant damage on the Zerg pair, taking out the third, able to take out a whole bunch of drones here at the fifth. But Zerg now looking to do a counter-attack of their own, but Templar are out. Sizestorm has not yet been researched, so it looks like Chu trying to trade an eye for an eye, going to take out the Nexus, not caring about losing his units, just going to take out the Nexus, trying to even things out. And basically it's two mining based Protoss versus a 2.5 mining Zerg, so things still pretty even. Although the units lost life, it looks very scary for the Zerg. Zerg can always power up, they can always rebuild extremely fast, and that's how the Zerg, that's how the Zerg works. Just overwhelm really your opponents with immense numbers. Plus 2 armor now on the way for the Zerg. Plus 3 attacks also. Sorry, for the Protoss. Plus 3 range attacks for the Zerg on the way. And looking to retake his base. I think grabbing another base would not be such a bad idea. But here we go. Chu now looking to keep the pressure on the expansions, just sniping the expansions with a mobile Link Roach Force. But then again, the Protoss also has a mobile Blink Stalker Force, and Chu not really caring about the units, not really engaging. He just wants to snipe and lower the income of the Protoss. And right now he has about 3 times the income. Is that correct? Yeah, over 3 times the income of the Protoss. So economically, Zerg is in a good position. Army-wise, let's get the army count. Army count. Protoss is ahead by about 30 food, and they have Sizestorms. And as a Zerg, you hate it when the Protoss army is ahead, but then Chu wisely dropping down a whole bunch of spine crawlers. This will really help deter any Protoss attacker. I mean, anyone who sees these spines defending, no matter how big of your army is, you would definitely think twice. And ooh, we have a drop here from the Protoss. Will they able to take out the spawning pool? Yes, they take out the spawning pool, so there will be no more Zerglings, but evolve. Enduring Locust now being researched, so it looks like we are going to see Storm Host. So this is looks like Chu now pulling out every single Zerg unit in the bag. We even have Dark Templar on the way, and a War Prism, and we're seeing the only thing that's missing really is Air Toss. But I'm wondering what Chu will do what he will do for tier 3. Will he go for Broodlord? There you go. I think this is our answer. He's going to go the Broodlord route, as he is getting +2 air attacks. Ooh, is he going for Mutalisk? Interesting. Let us see what happens. I cannot tell what Chu is thinking about. It looks like we have another Zergling attack, but Protoss wisely walling off, and he will see that there are a bunch of links there. But this does create an opportunity. There are roaches now moving out that could possibly snipe this base. No, the roaches are actually going straight to the top. And Protoss still stuck on 4 bases. Zerg still looking pretty good, mining from quite a good amount of bases. And then there you go, produce more spine crawls. He is floating a lot of gas and minerals. And I think he has that saved up for Broodlords, and it's like here we go, the roaches and links looking to again apply some pressure. But here is a Templar throwing down the storm onto the Zerg units. Look at all those roaches in yellow, and finally Protoss grabbing a 5th base. He desperately needs this, as we are now entering we're halfway to the 30-minute, well, not really halfway, we're 4 minutes away from the 30-minute mark of the game, and it looks like neither player is looking to give up this victory, their ladder points and their pride, as both players are intertwined in the battle of fate. I don't know what I'm talking about. But then, if Chu just moves in, he might possibly take this out, as the Protoss army is moving up to defend, but there are actually no units there at all. there you go. Greater Spire now on the way. It's like we are going to be seeing Brood Lords now. Question: why is he getting +2 air? Okay, for the corruptors, right? And ooh, looks like Shuna moving into the Protoss third, looking to snipe. Yes, he is going to snipe the Nexus, but in return, he's going to lose all but 3 of his roaches. No, he's going to lose them all, really. All but 3. So these guys are going to, like, you know, tell stories, war stories to their children. How Olympus had fallen. Sorry, I just watched that movie. It's pretty epic. But they say White House Down is much better movie. So and Protoss grabbing another base as he can afford to do so. And really, you know, when it comes down to this late game, all those like opening builds don't matter anymore. So, as you know, for us casual players, what the hell do we do at this point? You know, what should we focus on now? There's no more build orders. There's no more nothing, right? Basically, have everything. So right now, you know, when you reach this stage of the game, it really falls down to a couple of things. Number one, picking the right spots. I mean, you don't always attack to end the game. Okay? You attack to gain slight advantages and slowly, you know, win in the long run, right? I mean, when your base has on 5 base, losing 1 base doesn't really matter, right? Unless like you're in the mid game, and you know, as a third player, your third gets taken out, and your Protoss has like 4 running bases, right? Now that would be, you know, total suicide, and you know, you'd leave the game, right? But in this late stage, right? Again, it falls out to 2 things. Number one, ping the right spots, trying to win small advantages every minute, and managing your expansions. Okay, because in the late game you have all of these production facilities, right? They're already there. You don't have to spend any more to create these production facilities, but you have to make sure that you have the economy to support these production facilities, so that you can continuously replenish your army, keep yourself at max, and stay alive, right? So it really falls down to those things. If you can manage to cripple your opponent economically in the late game, that's a huge advantage, and you know, that'll give you an opportunity to finish things off. So notice both armies are now 200. Protoss really tried to pick his spots here. Every single base on the map, except I guess for this base, has been grabbed. So again, it'll all fall down to battle for resources, which I like to call expansion management, which is something I actually learned from Jabi. He told, I think that was the term that he said, expansion management. But here we go, 2 huge armies, swarm hosts, and nice their recall, and ooh, we even have Vipers. So it looks like the Vipers are going to be there to pull away the Colossus, or even use Blinding Cloud. Blinding Cloud is an awesome skill. I'm not sure if they changed it. Maybe they changed Blinding Cloud. Nope. Still the same. So imagine that your range units the range of your range units goes down to the range of melee. That sucks. You even have a bunch of changelings there for no reason. But looks like we're going to have huge engage. The Protoss can actually move in right now and kill a whole bunch of swarm hosts, and Saison going down on top of the swarm hosts. But here come the Vipers pulling in 1 Colossus at a time. And yeah, it looks like the Zerg siege has now begun. So many swarm hosts here, plenty swarm hosts really, and Corruptor. So Chu was totally changed from Hydra Roach to swarm host, Corruptor, and Viper, which on paper sounds really nice. You know, you have a swarm host which can absolutely eradicate any land unit, and the Corruptors which can deal with any air. So nice choice there of units here from Chu. Coupled with the Viper, you know, where you can put in the Colossus or use Blinding Cloud, that makes for a really deadly army. But no, Zealots here can actually go for the drones, and right now every drone kill really is a huge win. But listen, we still have a couple of Hydras here. So as a Protoss player, what do you do against Zerg? I'd say kill as many bases as you can, try to lessen the gas income for the Zerg, but the Zerg not really mining as optimally from the gases. I mean, you have 1 here, 2 here, only one gas share with nothing, with no Zergs mining. But then again, they have, both of them have huge banks, so it's going to it's going to take a while. But here we go, the Swarm Host Siege slowly trying to eliminate this base. Pretty far. Wow, look at how far these Swarm Hosts travel. But we have Dark Templar. And nice here, going to be able to snipe the Greater Spire to prevent any Broodlord production. And again, these are those small advantages that can help you win in the late game. With this eliminates the chance of creating Broodlords, which as a Protoss player is really hard to deal with unless you go for total Sky Toss. And here we go, more DTs. Just one couple of DTs dealing so much damage, destroying this base, taking out the Greater Spire. But on the other hand, we have the Locusts pressuring the Protoss third, which is about to be mined out. But oh no, Dark Templar now getting into the Swarm Host siege line. Nothing to defend the Swarm Host. And oh my god, Eclipse doing so much damage with just a couple of the DGs. But then here comes the Zerg army with all of the Corruptors and not really Corruptors, coming in with Overseers. And this is turning out to be like the 1 year war from Gundam, where both sides winning different battles on different fronts. Secret operations going on, taking out covert Dark Templar operations. And then you have the main battle, so something is going on in the background. Hopefully I will be able to catch everything. Zerg now expanding here. Protoss just has about all its expansion except this one. And I'm slowly walking onto the creep, but then again, you have to be really careful. The Swarm Hosts with their Locusts, can really chip away at the Protoss army. But Eclipse being very smart, not directly engaging the Locusts at the very edge, of their like travel distance, just as their time life is about to expire. But here we go again. Here comes the siege of Locusts. Oh my god, even pushing forward with Spine Crawlers. And as a Protoss player, you don't like seeing Spine Crawlers in front of your base, as the Zerg is grabbing more and more map control, and this is what Protoss has to do. But oh, will this be a good engage? He is in a crevice, or in a choke point. But then all the Corruptors now taking out the Colossus. Well, one Colossus is left alive. The 606 swoop in for one more attack. There you go. The Corruptors have done their jobs. They have taken out the Colossus, and now they can actually be morphed into Broodlords. But then again, that critical snipe there with the DTs delaying the emergence of the Broodlords. And it's like the Protoss player now feeling a little gutsy, moving in. Again, expansion management is the name of the game. But here comes the Zerg army with the Locusts. And as I think Blink Stalkers will actually do fine against Swarm Hosts if you don't engage right away. And notice here Zealots are moving into this base, but I don't think this base is going to be of any significance. Well, maybe to take out the Greater Spire. Yes, but we already have 13 Broodlords now morphing in. The Zerg has spent everything, and economy-wise, he only has this base left. Protoss, on the other hand, barely mined from this base. He is almost mined out of this base. And Ermagerd, again, it's not going to be a struggle for resources. The Protoss does have 5,000 minerals in the bank, so he might be able to produce a lot of Zealots and expand with no problem. Again, the Zerg has everything under. Again, with the map control, Protoss is not able to expand as freely as he wants. He has to take out these creep chambers. He has to push back the creep. But jing, oh my god, as a Protoss player, this is so scary. Seeing all of these Broodlords slowly marching forward, and with nothing in the air. only a handful of stalkers, this is going to be very, very difficult for Protoss to deal with. He does not have the units, and now the Protoss player must be shitting himself, as he does not have an answer to these Broodlords unless he catches the Broodlords out of position and without any protection. But then he has the protection of the Swarm Host, Broodlord Swarm Host. Oh my god, Broodlords taking out all the Protoss infrastructure. The Swarm Host keeping the Protoss army at bay. And now it looks really, really bleak for our Protoss player. Though he's moving in with a whole bunch of Zealots trying to deal as much damage as he possibly can. But if we engage army on army, the Protoss player is absolutely at a huge disadvantage. He does not have the right unit composition to deal with these units, and Zerg will slowly whittle away this Protoss army and now gaining the advantage. Looking at the units lost tab, Zerg has already pulled even, and looks like he's now going to pull in for the, he's now going to come in for the win really. And this is like the last stand of the Protoss. Once this army goes down, I'm not sure if the Protoss will be able to have the resources to build up the army that he needs to go up against this Zerg force. Those Zealots are dealing quite a lot of damage. Taking out the bases, no more mining bases here for the Zerg, but then again, looking at what the Protoss has, he does not have the resources to deal with this army. He does not have any gas to make Stalkers, which are the only units right now he can create to attack air. So it looks like Zerg now is slowly closing in on the victory. There is nothing the Protoss can do. Notice there is nothing left in the production tab. It looks like the Protoss player is going to lose everything. This is going to be the last stand of Ire as the hybrid, decimate the entire Protoss civilization, and this looks like it is going to be GG for a Protoss player. There is nothing left. Zealots, yeah, okay, but once they engage the Protoss army, I mean the Zerg army, there's absolutely nothing that those Zealots can do. And Chu, being wise, saving his drones, he has enough to rebuild a hatchery if need be. And looks like he's now pulling back with the Broodlords, keeping the Swarm Host here to continue the siege on the Protoss base. But once these Zealots are out, I don't think they're going to take forever now to kill these larvae. But I think this is going to be, this is like, for Ire and everything else. And notice, the only thing Protoss can really do is make Zealots, and he has no gas. It'll take him forever to mine the gas he needs from one base. He does have a Stargate, but nothing producing out of it. And this has to be GG for the Protoss player. But then again, Protoss not wanting to go down without a fight, as clearly, there is, I don't see any way for the Protoss to come back with just pure Zealots. So the Zealots will be able to outrun, really what the Zealots are doing, they're outrunning everything. But taking out taking those out. But yeah, there you go, the Broodlords now have the Zealots cornered. And there's not much Protoss player can do. He has quite a lot of probes, so he's now distance mining really. But he doesn't really need minerals, he actually needs gas so that he can produce a Stargate army. And ooh, looks like the Protoss player not giving up, he has so much minerals. But then here comes the siege now of the Swarm Hosts, and Chu is aware of everything that is going on. But then again, all the unit producing structures, all the tech structures of the Zerg have been taken out. So what Protoss can actually do right here is try to get as much gas as possible and get at least one, no, not really one Void Ray, because I think, are there any Corruptors? Yes, there are a whole lot of Corruptors. And then, Protoss just does not want to go down without a fight. This is how Protoss fight. Even though their impending doom is upon them, they fight to the last breath. They fight to the last Zealot. That is exactly what Eclipse is doing here, despite the overwhelming numbers of Zerg. And where are the Broodlords? Broodlords are just chilling, not doing anything. Going to clean up the Zealots, no problemo. Protoss has so many workers, Notice he's now actually he has one base. Chu does not know about this base, so this might be the one saving grace of Eclipse, as Zerg is not mining at all. He has no more resources. He only has one hatchery left, but you know it's not much can be mined from that base. And his unit producing structures are still complete. He has actually saved up a bunch of stalkers. So Eclipse now slowly clawing his way from absolute defeat. Now it's a chance to take on the Zerg, and he actually catches the Swarmhost off guard, being able to pick off about 5. But oh my God, are there no more observers? There are no more observers on the field, but the Protoss I think he can afford it, but he's going to spend this last morsel of gas just to get an observer out. And again, oh my God, the Zealots now doing so much, but then the last mining base of the Protoss has been discovered. But still, there are so many minerals here for a Protoss player, and he's slowly destroying every single structure. This extractor is going to fall. There's no more hatchery. Actually, for the Zerg, there's no more hatchery for the Zerg. And my God, Chu, you have to deal with this, or else you're going to lose. There you go. Chu has not rebuilt his base, so the only remaining structures left, this extractor. Yeah, this extractor. I think this is his last. Oh, where's the building? There are the buildings. Oh no, these are the last 2 buildings. And it looks like Eclipse is going to win. Is this the last building? Is this the last Zerg building? No, there's more. Okay, he's building an extractor, but he's going to protect the extractor with these. He's going to continue to lay siege upon the world, right? He has no more minerals. Oh my God, Eclipse might be able to pull off an epic comeback. What he has to really just dive in and destroy this extractor, and he will have the win, right? Right, this is the only building left for Zerg. And oh my God, all he has to do is dive in. Eclipse can win this game. He's just going to need to kill this extractor. There are roaches there. This is the Zerg's last stand. Eclipse, is he going to get the victory? The Broodlords need Stalkers blink in and take out the extractor. She was able to build another extractor. Where is it? And oh my God, all the Broodlords have been taken out. But where's the last Zerg building? The spine crawlers! Are there still spine crawlers? Yes, there are still spine crawlers. Ah, these are Chu's last buildings. Oh my God! And this is it. Chu just needs to defend these spine crawlers. Oh no! Wrong way! Chu, you're attacking the wrong way! Oh my God! The spine crawlers have to survive! Do spine crawlers count as buildings? Oh shit, what did I press? Right, spine crawlers do count as buildings. And this is all that's left for Chu. The stalkers just need to snipe these spine crawlers, and I don't know. Spine crawlers are really heavily defended. So what Chu can actually do is leave some. Yeah, it's very smart. He can actually leave some of his units here, his locusts. and then use his the half of his swarm host to try and deal damage to the buildings. Oh my god, oh my god. Eclipse. Will he be able to pull off an epic comeback? Ah, gug, gug, gug. Choo! Choo, defenders, Spine Crawlers, Choo! Blinding Cloud going on the Stalkers. There are only 4 Spine Crawlers left. Oh god. Only 2 Spine Crawlers left. And only 4 Stalkers. And 20 probes. This is really coming down to the wire here, ladies and gentlemen. This is an epic game. Protoss not really giving up, showing us, you know, no matter how bleak things look, there is always a way to come back, and the Protoss player has come back. But again, he only has 4 units left. Even as a DT, the DT save the DT. But there are so many overseers, and this looks really impossible for these 4 Stalkers to deal with. Let's look at the APM. Wow, Protoss player, even though he doesn't have much units to deal with, he is over 200 APM. Locust slowly trying to chip away at the Protoss infrastructure. And now the probes forced to distance mine. And with, you know, so little. Whoa! Even pulling back the Dark Templar. Oh my god. And I think Chu has this. Stalkers just diving in, but there is not much that they can do. Eclipse GG's, and we have just witnessed one of the closest games that I have ever casted. That was crazy. Oh my god, thank you Chu for sending in this replay. I hope you guys enjoyed that. This has been your friendly neighborhood Dr. Jimmy signing off.